We're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Wednesday, September 10th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Kwon-Juyeon.
Happy Hump Day!
Happy to you too. And also Julian's with us.
Happy Wednesday.
And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So it's Wednesday, which means we're going to begin with our keyword news, where we look at a story that has been gaining traction over the past 24 hours. Today's keyword is reading. So women in their 30s emerged as the country's most avid readers in 2024. According to the Korean Publishers Association on Tuesday, they read an average of 10.5 books over the past year, more than double the 5.4 books read by the average adult. The gap was even more striking compared with men in their 30s, who were found to read the least, averaging just 4.1 books a year. So Julian, do you enjoy reading personally? If so, what kind of books do you usually reach for? Is it fiction, nonfiction, self-help, or maybe something else?
Honestly, I really do not enjoy reading, but as an effort to follow my New Year's resolution and because I really just wanted to stop using my phone so much, I put an effort to start reading. And because I did that, I started to really enjoy reading. I really enjoy reading fictions, especially books that have been adapted into films, but I do like reading all sorts of books as well.
So do you prefer reading the books before they come out as a movie, or like vice versa?
I guess I would prefer to do that, but I tend to watch the movie first before reading.
Because it helps you imagine the book, like the characters.
Exactly,
easier.
but that's how watching the movie is how I get introduced to the books.
Oh, that's true. So what about you, Chuyeon?
Yeah, me too. One of the classic New Year's resolutions. Yes, was for me, yes, to read more books. And I have got to say that, more I make those resolutions, I don't stick to it that much. So I don't usually follow that in my plans. But somehow that makes me read even more and more. So I do love fiction, and I've been enjoying novels like Hangeul, such as The Vegetarian, or 채식주의자, or The Human Act, 소년이 온다. As I'm planning to visit the Marc Chagall and Anthony Brown exhibition soon, I've been also dipping into books about their artworks, art pieces, and even some delightful children's stories. And at least this is one resolution I might actually keep this year.
So it's clear that women in their 30s are leading the way when it comes to reading, showing that books are still very much alive and relevant in today's digital age. Their reading habits remind us that even in a tech-driven society, the power of books to inform, inspire, and entertain remains as strong as ever. And hopefully, this will inspire you to also take a moment to start a new book. And that concludes our keyword news for this Wednesday. And as we make our way through the middle of the work week, we're going to examine how global interest in K-culture is inspiring people to learn something new. So let's take a look at the screen to learn more. Interest in K-pop, K-dramas, and creative films has sparked a worldwide fascination with Korean culture. That enthusiasm has naturally extended to the Korean language, as fans eager to connect more deeply with the music and stories are learning it themselves. With its unique alphabet, expressive phrases, and growing global influence, Korean is expected to become one of the most sought-after languages to study. Today on News Generation, we explore why people around the world are embracing Korean and what makes the language so captivating. So as we just saw in the video, the global reach of K-culture is no longer limited to music and dramas. It's even shaping the way we speak. So today we're going to take a closer look at the growing popularity of the Korean language as part of this cultural wave, something that may get overlooked when we talk about K-pop or K-dramas alone. So more and more Korean words are being added to dictionaries in other countries thanks to songs and dramas that have become popular, which really shows how mainstream they've become. So to kick off today's discussion, do you remember any particular words that have been added to dictionaries that kind of stood out to you, Jian?
Yes, I do. Well, it's quite fascinating to see how Korean words are finding their way to the Oxford Dictionary, English Dictionary that is. So earlier this year, 7 new Korean entries were added. Words like 달고나, or Korean honeycomb candy, 노래방, or singing room, 노래방, 노래방, those places that you can sing a lot of Korean K-pop songs as well. And also this word 형, or older brother. Older brother, that means it is especially used by males. And in its December update, more terms, more vocabulary such as 막내, or the youngest member in a K-pop idol group, and 찌개 or Korean stew. You can have 된장찌개, 김치찌개, and also we have 떡볶이 or spicy rice cakes, which is one of the good snacks that you enjoy. And also 판소리 or traditional musical storytelling were added as well, included as well. These words highlight K-culture's global influence, with 달고나 seen in the hit series Squid Game and turning into a global buzzword. So I do think that K-culture is rewriting the dictionary one at a time.
It's so interesting to see those words like that we use in our daily lives being, in those dictionaries. Yeah. What's also interesting is that slang created within K-pop fandoms has now crossed over into mainstream culture, and it's being used by people all around the world, even by those who aren't necessarily fans. So some of these terms have become part of everyday online conversations, showing just how powerful fandom culture can be in shaping language. So Julian, do you know any examples of these expressions that stand out to you, or maybe ones that you've noticed being used outside the K-pop community?
It's funny because I actually use this word a lot with my friends, but the newly coined word delulu appeared in the Cambridge English Dictionary as well. Now this actually isn't a Korean word, it's a shortened version of the word delusional. So even though it is a Korean word, it's part of a fandom meme that originated amongst K-pop fans used to poke fun at the delusion of, I can date a K-pop idol. Yeah, many K-pop fans even took part of the Delulu challenge, posting pictures of them with BTS's Jimin, for example, with captions like, I'm revealing my boyfriend. It's a term that really, it's becoming popular amongst K-pop communities.
Right, so like you said, like I also used it so often, I didn't know it was even from K-pop culture as well. So how do you usually use it?
Yeah, well, I originally didn't even know it was part of a K-pop community thing. So I just use it just to show how delusional I am. For example, I can buy this really expensive product just easily, or expensive concert tickets, but can't get it. So that's just me saying I'm delulu for thinking I can achieve that.
And K-pop songs have also really encouraged people to learn Korean, have even been used as a study tool. So how do you think K-pop in general has led to even more interest in learning the language, Julian?
Yeah, so as the soundtrack from the K-pop Demon Hunters continued to gain popularity, more and more foreigners have actually started to really learn Korean as well. The songs from the movies are currently extremely popular, with songs like Soda Pop and Golden performing well on the charts too. Now, global communities often feature posts introducing Korean lyrics and tips for reading them easily, which have become very popular as well. On YouTube, you can easily find foreigners studying Korean pronunciation and meanings in order to perform songs like Golden in full. It's not just these songs too. Many people are also using other popular K-pop songs to learn Korean as well. So the popularity of K-content has also increased the interest of learning the Korean language as well.
So in recent years, we've seen a surge in people signing up for language courses and downloading learning apps all around the world. So it's no longer just dedicated fans, so students, professionals, even casual learners are showing interest. So how popular has learning Korean actually become, Jian?
Yeah, lots of people are fond of Korean or Hangeul. Yes, even the international press and professionals have been highlighting this surge in interest. One American university noticed that Korean is now the most popular East Asian language, and he said, quite frankly, that it's driven almost entirely by K-pop. Well, in fact, enrollment in Korean language courses at US universities rose by more than 57% between 2013 and 2021. And the growth is just as clear if you look at the chart at the King Sejong Institute, where student numbers who are studying Korean have risen from under 1,000 at its start to well over 200,000 in 2024 last year. So it's a remarkable shift that shows how cultural power can quickly become linguistic power. So English speakers better start learning Korean or Hangeul now.
Right, so you actually went to school in the States. Did you see like the popularity of Korean language courses there?
When I was growing up, honestly, not really, didn't really see it. But in college, I did notice it a lot, because when I was trying to enroll in Korean language classes when I was a college student, I failed. I couldn't get the classes. So I think that's a clear indication of just how popular learning Korean has truly become.
So to learn more about why people around the world are choosing to study Korean, how they're learning, and what they enjoy most about it, we'll be hearing directly from a Korean language learner himself. And that conversation will take place right after the break, so stay tuned.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search our channel Arirang News. Click Community and leave a comment down below. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Keenan, a fan from Belgium of all things K-pop and K-culture, is also learning Korean. Hi Keenan, thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi everyone.
So Keenan, when did you first start learning Korean? What inspired you to begin studying the language?
So I began studying Korean about 4 months ago, and I think as many foreigners, I discovered the Korean language through K-pop and K-dramas. I was very interested in learning Korean because I wanted to feel connected to the language and also try to understand what they say. I think it's really important. And as a foreigner living in Korea, I truly like the Korean language truly is truly important for me because I feel that it's both respectful and toward the people and also an opportunity to connect with the culture and the people. I think learning the language allow me to engage in more deeply with everyday life and appreciation about cultural nuances that I might otherwise miss.
Lovely, Keenan. Then how are you currently studying Korean?
At the moment, I study Korean through apps as Duolingo, for example, and also I went to language institutes, and I think this combination of daily practice and formal instruction are building consistency and reinforce my vocabulary. So that's, I think, having a teacher helping you for the pronunciation and having a textbook can be also a great example of learning a language, and because it helps us to get the connection with the language, because learning only through apps or videos are really good, but having someone telling you how to pronounce it correctly and having someone to discuss is really important to improve a language.
Great. So just your last final question, what do you most enjoy most about learning Korean, and how proficient would you ultimately like to become?
Actually, I really enjoy the Hangeul, at least for writing it, and also the grammar, because it's very different from my first language, my mother tongue as French and English. So I feel like kind of mathematical because the structures and endings and logical patterns are really fun. And I find it both challenging and rewarding when I can make my own sentences and stuff. I think it's really, really great for my exercising my brain actually. So ultimately, I hope to become truly proficient as I plan to stay in Korea for some time. And being able to communicate fluently will not help me in daily life, but also allow me to build more meaningful relationship and integrate better into the community.
I see. Well, I just want to wish you the best of luck in your Korean language learning journey. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So we just heard from a young learner from a different country sharing why he decided to study Korean and what he appreciates the most about the language. But of course, interest in Korean isn't limited to just one country, one motivation. Some people are drawn by K-pop or K-dramas, while others are fascinated by the culture, history, or even career opportunities that come with knowing an additional language. So Chun, is it true that more students are coming to Korea to learn the language?
That is correct. Well, we do think that K-pop, K-content was the only main reason that drew people to Korea to learn Korean language, but we are also seeing a record number of international students choosing Korea for their studies. So last year alone, over 200,000 international students came, marking a 15% increase on the year before. And many are drawn by Korea's dynamic economy and the global footprint of Korean companies, while others highlight the country's strong reputation in technology, entertainment, and education as well. On top of that, expanding government scholarships and exchange programs in universities are making making it easier than ever to study here for international students. So whether it's for university entrance, career opportunities, or simply cultural curiosity, the reasons go far beyond just K-pop. So K-culture draws people in, and Korean makes them stay here in Korea.
So we've also seen more and more people coming to Korea, not just as tourists, but to live and work here. And for anyone trying to build a career here, language obviously can play a huge role in both professional and everyday life. Julian, so how important would you say Korean skills are for those who are looking to work here?
Oh, it's extremely important. The number of workers coming to Korea for employment is also increasing, and domestic and small size and medium sized manufacturers are placing greater emphasis on learning Korean as well. In fact, the survey found that 70% of small and medium sized companies responded that they prioritize Korean language skills when hiring foreigners because they believe that Korean proficiency is directly linked to work efficiency. Now, this makes a lot of sense because clear communication is crucial in the workplace, and everyone really does need to be able to speak the common language as well. That is why, even though I can personally speak Korean before coming to Korea, I still put an effort towards learning Korean because there's a difference between conversational Korean and workplace Korean, and I feel like it's really important to actually put the effort so I can easily communicate with ease with my colleagues.
So Jian, what would you say is the biggest strength then of the Korean language?
Well, first of all, speaking of from my own experience, when I studied at a Hangeul, which is a Korean school in the UK back in the days when I was younger, the most difficult part, the trickiest part for me was the consonants. You know, you've got to write two consonants, anta, niun, 지읒, and anta, not niun, anta, niun, hiut. And one time I was having a test, I wrote 3 final consonants at the same time. It was quite awkward because, you know, only 2 are allowed in Korean. But that's something many foreigners also struggle with, the padchims, when they first learn Korean. But of course, the strengths of Hangul are already widely recognized. With a small set of letters, you can combine them to create countless syllables. That's why Korea enjoys one of the lowest illiteracy rates in the world. And beyond practicality, the language itself has a certain beauty. It's very fast indeed, rhythmic, also almost like singing. So Korean is both wonderfully logical and musically charming at the same time. So no wonder the world is humming along in Korean.
So you say you learned Korean abroad. What was that experience like? How was it different from learning Korean like in Korea?
I think I used English Monday to Friday, and that was the most difficult part. I didn't have any place to practice a lot, just with my parents.
I see. So since, Julian, you recently graduated from a language institute, congrats. You're the perfect person to ask this. So from your experience learning Korean, what do you think is the most rewarding or interesting part of the language?
Well, learning Korean here in Korea has been extremely rewarding. So I basically learned through speaking with my family. So going to school to understand proper grammar rules as well as like just higher vocabulary has been a huge game changer for me. So I really do especially enjoy being able to communicate easily with my friends and family here, something that I can honestly say I wasn't able to fully do even a couple years ago. So the most rewarding part of this journey has been feeling more connected to my Korean side. Now, but one of the most interesting things about the language is just how diverse the vocabulary is. Words like rules, convenience, and each have their own different terms and depending on the context as well as the nuance. So when I was first learning it, it felt very confusing at first, but I found it very rewarding just understanding how Koreans use each word to express how they feel or just express different situations.
And I'm sure your family appreciates that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So far we've explored the growing interest in Korean and discussed some of its unique strengths, from its compact writing system to the rich variety of expressions that it offers. What do our reviewers think? And to find out, we asked our audience on the Arirang News YouTube channel, what do you find most charming about the Korean language? And here's what they said. Half of the respondents, 50%, said they liked how the Korean alphabet is easy to learn. Another 28% were drawn to the language's rhythmic sound, while 16% highlighted its smooth and flexible pronunciation. And the remaining 6% mentioned other reasons for finding Korean appealing. So it seems that the fact that the Korean language alphabet is relatively easy to learn is what most people consider the most appealing aspect of the language. And that honestly makes a lot of sense, especially for those just starting out with a new language, as it gives them a sense of accomplishment and confidence. So to wrap up our discussion today, can you both share your favorite phrases in Korean? Tell us why you like it. Julian, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I personally really like the word 괜찮아. No particular reason, but simple. It answers many different questions and it's used to convey satisfaction or that you're fine. So 괜찮아 in English, it basically means that you're fine. This word is probably one of the first words that you learn when learning Korean, or even just when you're consuming Korean media. You'll often hear this word spoken a lot in a lot of these K-dramas, so pay attention. I'm sure you're able to hear this word anywhere.
So it's really interesting. As someone who learned Korean, do you think it's better to start out with these words like 괜찮아 or like to start out with grammar?
I think you have to do both because the phrases help you understand like how to respond to different situations, but grammar rules help you put the actual sentence structure and the rules, and you understand just how to express those phrases properly.
I see. So for any Korean learners out there, this is a great reminder that language learning isn't just about grammar, vocabulary. It's also about discovering expressions that inspire you and make obviously language more personal. So what are your thoughts on this tune?
Well, I would like to sing a little bit. You know, I'm sure that you will know this song. 영원히 깨질 수 없는. Yeah, it's from Golden.
Yeah, right.
One line from Golden, which means unbreakable forever. It's quite poetic, very powerful indeed. And when you say it in Korean, it can even mean our bond, our relationship can never be broken. Of course, you can use it for a glass. You know, it cannot be broken, but it can be used for friendships, your dreams, your values, and that is, you know, feel unshakable, unbreakable. What's interesting is that so many foreign learners ask this question, what does that mean? 영원히 깨질 수 없는, and they actually post that on their own videos to show the pronunciation. And that shows how expressions like this go beyond grammar and vocabulary. Of course, it's important, as you mentioned. They connect people on a personal level. And who knows, maybe our bond with NewsGen is also 영원히 깨질 수 없는.
I think it's just how contracts among us and our panelists right now.
Yes.
So as you've seen, the global wave of K-culture is doing more than just entertaining. It's sparking growing interest in learning Korean around the world. So from the music and dramas to the language itself, people everywhere are finding new ways to connect with Korea's culture, proving that language truly is a bridge to understanding and experience. And hopefully this appreciation for the language will lead to deeper culture exchanges, stronger connections between people across countries, and a greater curiosity about Korea's history, traditions, and everyday life. So this brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation, but News Gen will be back tomorrow. Big thanks to Chuyeon
Thank you for having me,
for
Sujin.
coming in, also Julian.
Thank you for also having me today.
And to all our viewers, thank you so much for watching, and we hope you have the best day. We are News Generation.